So I want to quickly examine why men that allow themselves to be placed in the friend zone are cowards and should be avoided by all women. Okay. Now, the reason why that dynamic, the friend zone, the female and the male who are quote unquote friends, the reason why that happens is number one, women allow it to happen because it gives them that masculine energy that they crave. Okay. Typically single women, they desire some type of male attention. Okay. Now I've heard women when I was lost, I've heard women actually admit that they had male friends for different things. Okay. So that's part of why women allow that dynamic to exist. But on the male side, okay, the reason why I have an issue with guys that allow themselves to be placed in the friend zone and they stay there is because they're cowards. Okay. They're cowards. And men like me that have always been intentional, but all throughout my life, people that have known me, they know if I was interested in a woman, and this was back when I was lost, and speaking from a secular viewpoint, okay, I did everything wrong when I was lost, but I just want to examine the man I was when I was lost in light of how I dealt with women. When I was interested in a woman, I made it known. I didn't pussyfoot around the point. I made it known that I was interested in her, I liked her, and I wanted to date her right off the bat. Yeah, and if she wasn't with it, I moved on. Okay, I didn't play around. Again, I was lost. Right, but that's what I'm examining here. Men that are okay with being placed in the friend zone are men that are cowards. And the reason why they're cowards is because they know within themselves that they have an attraction for this young lady. They want to date her. They want to be with her. But because they don't have the courage to express that to her, they allow themselves to be placed in this state of limbo, which is the friend zone, which allows them to still be within close proximity to her, okay, without reaping the benefits of being an actual boyfriend. And you have men that will stay in this situation with them for years, sometimes decades, okay, under the cover of, I just like you as a friend. When inside they're burning for her, okay? And the reason why this dynamic is wrong and it's dangerous is because I've heard stories of this going very badly, right? But here's a warning for young women who are maybe in this situation. Okay, you need to understand, and this is the father's job to protect his daughter. Okay, you don't allow men to just come around you just for the sake of being around you. I don't think that's safe for women to just allow men to just be around, right? And what these young ladies don't understand is this coward has ulterior motives. And I think a lot of times women know, they know what your true intentions are. They just like you being around, okay? So I think women are also at fault in this. But I'm not looking at the women right now. I'm looking at the men that are cowards, okay? If you don't have the balls to be upfront with a woman, tell her what is in your heart, what you truly desire. You have no business being around her at all. Okay. As men, we don't play around with women. And you don't waste time because you don't have a lot of time. And this is why so many people are out here single, is because they're not being intentional with their relationships. They're playing games. And these guys that are cowards that allow themselves to be in the quote, quote, friend zone for multiple years, you wouldn't need to be weary about this type of men. Because the way I see it is, if a man who doesn't have the courage to be upfront and honest out the gate with you, and he's actually afraid of you, which is why he hasn't been honest with you, because he's afraid of rejection. If a man is afraid of you, what makes you think this man is going to have the courage to stick up for you in times that are very serious? Okay. If he doesn't have the courage to be upfront, honest with you, with his intentions out the gate, that's a coward. Okay. That's not a man you want to trust with your safe, with your life. Okay. Because I've seen this dynamic. I know women when I was in high school, when I was in college, I knew women that were in relationships with guys they had been friends with, and those guys are cowards. Okay, and there were certain situations where this guy was supposed to stand up for her, okay, in a situation that could have been physical, and he ran. I know one situation in particular, okay, and that's exactly what I thought someone like that would do. Because everything about that whole dynamic is weak. It's absolutely weak. And the fathers that allow these young guys to be friends with their teenage daughter, it's weak, it's pathetic, and it's dangerous. Okay. Because you have to understand, women, you have to understand that these guys that are friends with you, they're burning with passion for you. Okay. Even though they're sitting there listening to you talk with a shoulder that they can cry on, you're talking about other boys, and they're just listening like, I'm here to support you. Inside, that person is burning for you. Okay. Sooner or later, it's going to pop. Okay. This is why when you talk to a lot of women that have been in the friendship dynamic with a man, eventually they'll tell you that it got hectic. It got very highly emotional. There were outbursts. And eventually it gets to that point. And sometimes men will stay in this situation 5, 10 years, but it always comes to a head, always, because he can't hold that in any longer, right? And so my call to any man that is in this situation, that is the friend, stop being the coward. Or maybe that's just what you are, okay? But no, you're not just her friend. Okay? You do like her. And you're a liar if you say you don't. Okay? You just don't have the balls, to be honest, to be a man. That makes you a coward. And you were wasting your time. It's amazing. I hear these stories of these guys that are in the friend zone for 8 years. What are you doing? And the girl she's had 6, 7 boyfriends and he's still right there in the friend zone. It's absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And those guys deserve exactly what's coming to them. Extreme heartbreak. Okay? Extreme heartbreak. No, I'm just touching on this because one of my subscribers asked me this question. What do I think about, being in the friend zone? I think it's wrong. I think it's a waste of time. And I think it's improperly handling the opposite sex. And it will turn out bad. Always. Okay? Always. Now, yeah, are there stories of men that were in the friend zone and eventually they came out with their true desire, their true, intent, and it turned into a relationship that lasted? Yes, there are always exceptions, but the rule is the rule. 9 times out of 10, that situation will not be favorable. It will not be what that man wants it to be. Because the truth is, these women that are in those dynamics, they don't respect you. That's why you're the friend, not the boyfriend or the husband. So they don't even respect you. And I've heard how cousins and women in my family have talked about guys in this situation. Okay, I had a female in my family. She called one of the guys that was her friend. She called him money because that was what she called him for, money. Now he's thinking, this is my friend. I'm just helping my friend, and she's calling you, referring to you as money. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a waste of time. And personally, I believe both are at fault, but the man is more at fault because we're supposed to be the ones that are leading with intention. Right? Anything else other than that is just a waste of time.